R10 actually exists, and I decided to analyze the trailer and find everything new or changed within it. It starts off relatively normal with a group of 4 people, all in B Corp prisoner avatars, exiting the ship at the impact zone. We then get a black screen as text rapidly changes on it, before we get someone moving through what is probably the jungle, and for a brief moment at the start of their movement, they are sprinting. So either this trailer was recorded with the sprinting modifier enabled, or it's a normal part of the game, or alternatively, using a speed item gives you the same sprinting animation, but it's not actually sprinting. Next shows it raining over the Grand Lake and then the observatory, but nothing of importance there. And then we get Alpha Squad dropping in on the same stormy weather, which is interesting because Alpha Squad normally spawns on day 2, but it doesn't rain until day 4 normally. What this means, I can't actually tell. The next thing shown is Spotter moving through the rain alone before we see a revamped point of interest. The crash ship behind the lighthouse has gotten a massive overhaul. Everything's much larger, everything's much more detailed, and something I just wanted to point out, there's red lights at the back that could either just be normal decoration, or it could have cameras built into it that can be accessed. Then we are shown an overhauled part of the facility, namely where Stan was contained. The entire room has a new layout with new decorations around, and the breach signs have been slightly modified. Next, we are shown Stan cowering from 3 prisoners, one of which is wielding a torch that is scaring away. After that, we are shown a glimpse at Stan's new idle animations, followed by a player in a B Corp janitor uniform running away from Stan. Over a few scenes, we are also shown Agent B6 as he teleports in and begins to wreak havoc on the prisoners nearby with his own new animations. This is followed by a prisoner on the dragon in the middle of the Fezzed escape, and I've looked through the background of it, but I couldn't see anything else, unfortunately. We then have the Giver with a revamp to his chamber, now incorporating far more skulls of various different species. We also have the Snake chasing a group of 3 prisoners, all equipped with heat vision, but nothing else appears different there. After that is a sea serpent leaping out of the water with a player watching while standing near a new painting. So we might get more lost notes with this, because the painter always leaves a lost note for us to collect near one of his paintings, so there's probably going to be more lore in him there. This is followed by 3 players jumping down the well at the top of the ruins, which I believe is changed, as I think it leads into the next following shot that shows those same 3 prisoners being dragged away in water. The last of those 3 prisoners then falls over the side and into what appears to be the center of some form of sewer network, with steel staircases on both sides and water flowing in from multiple points. It also appears to be damaged in some parts. There is an entrance or exit on the top of the right staircase, leading into some caves from the appearance of it. In the next shot is the revamped area for the hallway leading into the portal room. There appears to be more doors on the side, although they are all closed and could just be decoration. Another thing to note is the new turret model. In the next shot, we can clearly see, you get to see the sea serpent from that one room in the facility where the buttons are. Next, there appears to be either a revamped upgrader or possibly a second form of upgrader. It does appear that you'll need to power it with fuses or a similar item, judging from the yellow box in front of it. After that, we get to see someone deciding to jump into the water and into a pipe structure submerged in that water, probably leading to the same sewers that we saw earlier, but it could be different. Next, we get to see a fight against multiple frogs spawn in our new location, with the largest one wearing a skull over their face, something that I don't think is in R9. This is shortly followed by a player finding the green button, which appears to have an expansion on its location, with the ground partly covered in water. In the next shot, we get to see a better view of it, revealing the markings of the tribe B Corp exterminated off the island. Then we get rapid cuts of Mantis's ship, the 3 contained parasites, one after another, but nothing appears out of the ordinary here. Except in the case of Frog, we see a glowing box in the background, but that's just probably a graphical error. This is followed by a prisoner with a line launcher watching over the hangar, before we see Mantis battling against Frog in his frog spawn. There is also a campfire in the background, so that's interesting, probably a new item, and the plane has a new model. After that, there's more fighting between Mantis and the parasites before we get to see a new weapon. A missile launcher of sorts that fires an incendiary missile that explodes and leaves behind a large AoE. After that, we return to another view of the hangar with what is seemingly the aftermath of the weapon being used again. I don't know if this is something, but it also appears to be moving, although that could actually be B6 in his smoke that he brings in. I can't say for certain. And then we have the plane taking off, and that gives us an actual view of the new model, shortly followed by a reveal of the item that allows us to summon in Frog Spawn. Presumably we get it after killing Frog. If the Frogspawn summoned is still hostile or not, I don't know, but hopefully they're not. After that, it shows a shot of the portal circle in the forest, which now has more markings on the side. I don't know what they mean. After that, we get multiple shots of the alien structure in the Grand Lake rising up and people traveling up upon it, with a meteor crashing down soon after. In the first of those shots, we do get another glimpse of the campfire again at the very left. The final part of the trailer is of an in-game cutscene, with Mantis heading over to something in the center of a room, possibly some form of organic core. There are also figures in the walls, if they are parasites or human or something else, I can't tell. It's very vague. The players in the cutscene all have grub guns and maggot missiles, including duplicates, so there's going to be some kind of way you can get multiple of them. The players also have some form of mantis pack, with wings being able to be seen on all of them. All the prisoners of Mantis then turn around to see a shadowy figure. Most of their appearance is out of sight, presumably a new enemy, as I highly doubt Stan tracked us down after we left the planet in the orbit ending. It also can't be the three parasites, as they are all dead by the end of the orbit ending. My guess is some variant of new parasite, but we'll see. And after that, the trailer ends with a vague release date, and my video is going to end now.